Hello, friends, and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz from Stuffies LLC. I'm so excited you're here. I have one of the coolest cards I think I've ever made. We're going to use the new Gashapon die set from Trinity Stamps to make a real working claw machine. So you pull the tab and the claw goes down and it can pick up those little balls. And then the little flap where you retrieve your prize opens up. It's a fancy shaker. We're going to use some interactive elements from Emergency Card Essentials die set number 3 in addition to this, and a magnet, but I've got workarounds if you don't have magnets. So I'm starting by just laying out my pieces. I cut a piece of teal cardstock that's 3 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. We're going to mount this onto an A2 card base, but I need to figure out where to cut my holes. So there's the little flap down at the bottom, and I need to use that die to cut a hole there. And then up at the top, I want to create a window. If you don't have magnets, you don't want to use magnets, then you can absolutely make a card just like this that has a moving claw and it's a shaker where you can take the balls out of the bottom. So I'm going to tape those down and run them through my die cut machine. And then on the back, we're adding a little piece of acetate. This is, again, just like making any other shaker. I'm going to use wet glue here. I have a lot of moving elements on this card. And so while you could use a double-sided adhesive tape, it never really dries. And so if something ends up caught on the underside of that acetate and you've got a double-sided adhesive, it can get stuck forever. And I would be so sad if you couldn't take the little prizes in and out of this one. So wet glue for me is the best choice on this one. I also get this little pink piece. I used the same die where I cut out the window. It creates this little frame, and I love that it's sort of an all-in-one. I also think that particular piece is super useful on a lot of different card designs, not just the claw machine and not just a shaker. I am smoothing out the glue with my finger to try to remove any excess so that it doesn't ooze out. I can always clean off glue from the acetate using just water and a rag or a Q-tip or something like that. But for me, I would rather not have to deal with it in the first place. And so that works really nicely. You could also tap it off on a piece of scratch paper. The rest of the pieces on the front come together pretty quickly. So there's like a little piece at the top. I tell you, there's a die I didn't leave room for. There's so much going on here. Between the window and that pink piece and the white piece at the very top, you can create a row of holes. You could put lights in there, or you could put another color behind there. I wanted to make sure we had plenty of room for our moving elements, so I didn't. The button is small, my friends. It's very small. If you wanted to use an enamel dot like Carrie Rhodes did in one of her videos, that is a great alternative here. But I just put my little dies onto this sticky mat. It's a silhouette mat that I have cut down, and then I'm just gluing right on top of it. Then we have our joystick. We need a way to move the claw around, right? And so this one creates like a little outline of it. And then the pieces that go with it to fill in those outlines are separate dies so that you can actually glue them onto the back of the frame instead of just inlaying them. And I like that. It lets it sort of be a little sturdier and stand up better. I'm going to add this directly onto my machine, and then off camera, I'm going to realize that there's actually a little bit of a gap in height between the acetate and then the layers of cardstock, like that light blue piece of cardstock. So I did tuck just a little extra scrap of cardstock behind the top of the joystick. Next, we're going to create our flap. We want this to open so we can get things out of there. So I cut the flap from 2 pieces, and I'm gluing this first one onto a piece of 65-pound cardstock. You could use copy paper here as well. I need something that will bend and move really easily. I put it a little too low, so I trimmed off the bottom, and then I'm going to glue the other die cut piece on top, right? So my flap is extra sturdy, and my top layer is like a shimmer cardstock, and I wanted that sort of extra pop. I'm going to fit this into the slot, and I want to make sure that it can fold forward. So I'm just bending it a little bit, and then I'll add my glue and add it back on there. I want to make sure it's going to fill up that space, but also that it can still move. If I put it too high, it doesn't move very well. So just make sure you're moving it in and out as you go. Okay, but that's it. The flap mechanism is done. It's super simple, and you could just make a shaker with pieces inside or confetti inside that come out of the slot. Then we have, of course, the coin mechanism. It's just two pieces, one layer is behind the other, and I've done mine in coordinating colors, and I'll glue that onto the front. There are a couple of stamp sets that came out with this release. So there's one that says insert coin here. I think there's a push here that really fits the shape and style of these arcade machines, and I love that as well. I'm going to add my button right next to my joystick, and then we get to move on to some interactive, super fun stuff. So I have another piece of cardstock that is 3 inches by 5.5 inches, and I have stolen this teeny tiny thin little sliver of a die from Emergency Card Essentials die set number 1. It's the double slider interactive die set. It also has a rocket, but honestly, it's mostly just tons of dies for interactive cards. There are 4 different lengths to that die in the set, so I chose the second largest. I've cut that where I want my claw to go up and down. Then I can start adding my other pieces. So you know how it has like that little wire that hangs down as the claw is moving. That's what this one is. I just left myself some little pencil marks to make sure I would know where to put it back so you could still see it when you have that front piece on top of it as well. Here's my claw. This is a moving mechanism, and they're small pieces. And because of that, I'm going to stack these up. You're going to see me stack it up twice here, but off camera, I added a 3rd layer. This is really simple to put together. And if you weren't trying to pick up actual objects with it, you don't need more than 1 layer. Okay. So just know that I'm adding lots of extra stuff because of the moving magnetic element. These are my magnets. You can see them jump together. These are 1/4 inch neodymium, I think I'm saying that wrong, magnets. And I have glued 2 of them together. They're a little stronger if you stack them up. And so that's what I did. I clipped my actual claw pieces that are going to drop down because normally that circle that was there would fit perfectly behind this little triangle piece, but I also need to fit the magnet. Okay, so this is not a lot of overlap, but I'm going to give it plenty of time to dry. Then I need to add my magnets in the middle. I'm also trying to make this as thin as I can, okay? This is the die that is meant to be the piece of the claw that goes up and down. I've cut it 4 times. I want it to be the same height as my magnets, and I'm going to sandwich everything together. So you can see at the top, there's a little room left over, and I'm going to go ahead and add this little black piece on top of there, but I'm removing any excess glue. I don't want glue oozing onto the front, and then I've got to clean things up. You know how it goes. I'm using super glue for some of the magnet pieces. You don't have to. It just grabs faster than my regular glue. And I was impatient. I spent, I think, 2 days on this card testing and retesting different mechanisms. So by all means, your regular glue will work just fine. I added 1 more of those triangle pieces on the back to really hold everything together. And that guy is super sturdy now. So here's my little hole, and I've cut this other die from Emergency Card Essentials number 3. There are 2 of these. This is the smaller one, and I'm going to create a Z, like a little accordion fold on either side so that they will meet in the middle with 2 flaps sticking up. Okay, that's the goal. Then I'm going to add a little bit of glue in the middle, and I'm going to just press the innermost pieces on top of it. So again, now I have this very compact little rectangle and my 2 flaps that stick up. That's super important. The 2 flaps are going to attach to my claw where that back piece where it's doubled up and glued together is going to stay whole. So I have traced the claw onto those front flaps, and I'm just going to use my scissors and cut carefully around it. I want to leave as much of that intact as I can because that's what attaches my pull tab to the claw itself. Okay, so again, you can see me going back and forth and trimming off just the tiniest little bits at a time. This is a great way to create a moving mechanism on any card. That Emergency Card Essentials number 3 will create 2 sizes of double sliders. You can do all kinds of pocket and sliding mechanisms even without the double slider. There's just a lot of ways to work with it. So I went ahead and then attached those pieces that I trimmed to the claw, and you can see now I have that rectangle poking out in the back. So we'll set him aside to dry really, really well before we mess with him again. There are lots of things that you could put inside your claw machine, but the die set comes with these little like capsule balls, and there's a bunch of little pieces to make them super cute and fancy. I made a bunch of these, so I just scribbled some glue onto a silicone mat, and then I am just dipping my little pieces into the glue and adding them straight on there. I found that this was the fastest way for me to put everything together. It also avoids dry adhesive, right? That double-sided adhesive that never really dries. There's too many moving elements for that. To make it so I can pick it up with the magnet, I'm going to use a paper clip. So I have my wire snips. These are the ones I use when I am taking dies apart. You know how sometimes they come attached to each other. And then I used to be a jewelry maker. I grabbed a pair of jewelry pliers, but I could use the same snips I used before and just be really careful not to cut through, or I could sort of shape this with my fingers. I made so many of these, I didn't want to do it with my fingers, but you know, they're paper clips. You can grab thinner ones and thicker ones. Anything will work, but I want it to be about the same shape as that ball. I'm going to stick some thin foam, 1mm foam right in the middle, and then I'll add glue around the outside so there's no dry adhesive around the outside, and I will put my paper clip there. The paper clip will stick to the magnet. Okay, that's our goal. Then I'm going to add my decorated ball right on top. So I have a blank one on the back and the decorated one on the top. They're pretty thin. I was very pleased with how thin these were, and you can see how many I made. I went a little nuts, but I wanted to make sure we had lots of them, and you can see they stick really well to that claw. So I am going to pull back my sort of doubled up rectangle there, and I'm going to use my pickup stick, and I am just curling these like I would a ribbon. Don't do this while the glue is still wet. The whole thing will come apart. So that just softens everything up. And then I'm going to slide it through and just kind of show you. Stick both the tabs through, and then your claw will move up and down. But if I just leave it like that, the ball is going to stick to the top of the claw instead of the underside. I want it to stick to the underside like it normally would look as it picks it up. So I am using some tweezers to sort of hold the base together, and I'm creating about 1/8 of an inch between where that rectangle folds flat and where the claw begins. Okay, so it sort of attaches a little bit. Then I'll open it up and I'll add a little glue in there, and I will just use my tweezers to hold that shut and give it time to dry. This way, when the claw comes down, I'll be honest, sometimes the balls stick to the top of it, but normally they sort of end up underneath it, and that looks better to me. So now I've put it back into my slot. You just sort of fold them together and slide them right through, and I can grab my little ball, and you see it tucks right up underneath there. Okay, so that's going to work really, really nicely. Now I can begin working on where the foam tape needs to go. I need to leave a little channel right where the flap is so things can sort of drop down. I doubled up my foam tape. So I started with 2mm foam, and I sort of layered it on top of each other so it's 4mm. I don't think that's necessary. If I was going to do this again, I would use 3mm of foam. You can buy 3mm foam, or if you have a thinner foam, you could double that up instead. The only reason I would avoid the 4 next time is because the balls overlap each other a little bit too much with as thick as the foam is here. At the top, I need to leave a gap, okay? I can place the claw so that it fits in an A2 envelope, but the claw is about halfway down, and I want it to be able to move further up and further down than that. So I have like the little stick of the claw here, and I've left a gap. Leave it big enough for that little stick die, but also leave it slightly wider than that. Sometimes the little balls don't want to unstick from the magnet when you shake it. And so it leaves you room to stick like a little piece of cardstock down in there if you're having a hard time getting things unstuck. So I filled in the rest of everything else, and I'm using those little capsule balls to figure out, like, is my foam narrow enough? near that little flap, and I like how it is now. So I have tucked it into the corner of my MISTI. It gives me that right angle, and then I will tuck the corner of that backing sheet in there as well. I have put the claw all the way up just to make sure I don't accidentally end up with the claw itself in the adhesive, and then I'll press firmly and everything is together just how I wanted. Those balls shake around really nicely and I can drop my claw, right? And it's grabbing onto things the way I wanted them to. That's the hardest part, is sort of getting that claw working. I didn't want to add another layer of foam, right? So the machine is 4 millimeters thick. I just need enough to make sure that that back piece will move smoothly. So I cut strips of cardstock that are just wide enough to fill in on either side. And I'm stacking up layers of 100-pound cardstock, 3 layers thick. So it's not super noticeable or bulky, but it does allow for smoother movement. To help keep that look really tidy, I want to line these up right along the edge of the machine, so it doesn't even look like there's a gap or foam or anything. You wouldn't have to be this picky about it, but I like the look of it. I think it's a little tidier when it's all said and done. So one on either side, and then in the end, I am going to add one more at the top just so that gap isn't as noticeable either. And then the pull tab will come out of the bottom. My pull tab is a little wider than 1/2 inch thick, and I'm placing my claw so that it is just barely low enough so it'll fit in that A2 envelope. And then I'm gonna put my pull tab not all the way up at the top, okay? I want it a little further down. I'm smoothing out the glue with my finger to make sure it doesn't ooze and then it doesn't move. And I'm gonna set this down. I have a little gap at the top that means I can push that pull tab up further to raise the claw all the way to the top of the machine. My pull tab is really tight towards the edge of those white pieces, and that's okay because it's wet glue and it dries hard. But if it were double-sided adhesive tape, or if it were foam tape, I would be a little more cautious and leave myself more room. I have cut this scripty hugs from the Simply Sentimental Hugs die set. And then I grabbed the Stuffies Stamp Set, and I'm going to use the word clawsome because I really wanted this to be like on theme. Clawsome hugs. And the hugs I've just temporarily taped down to get the placement for my stamp. I love it when they nestle in together, and this one works beautifully for it. I'm going to add some anti-static powder and then some Versamark ink just to get like a clear sticky ink for my white embossing powder. I liked the combination of white and gold, but certainly you could use gold embossing powder here. Something a little nuts is going to happen here, and it has happened to me before, usually with purple cardstock. I added my embossing powder, and then when I go to heat this up, you're going to see what happens. This very vibrant purple cardstock changes color. It mostly changed back when it cooled down completely, but you can see it a tiny little bit. But this is the color I wanted, and so I stuck with it. It's probably happened to you before. If you have tried to heat set something on dark purple cardstock, let me know. But I'm okay with it. I was just kind of cautious about how I put everything else together. Then I added glue onto the back of my hugs, and I just tapped off the excess on my silicone mat. You could use scrap paper, and I have my sentiment all ready to go. I often use my pickup stick or my tweezers to remove any excess glue. It keeps it from smearing. And then I'm going to add my claw machine. The glue only goes on those places where we've stacked up our 3 layers of 100-pound white cardstock. Don't put it right. Don't put it on your pull tab or it won't work. I left a tiny little gap of purple on the left-hand side, and then I have my sentiment on the right. Let me know if this has ever happened to you. The sentiment is slightly farther to the right than I wanted. Usually it's like a little too high or a little too low. So one of the tricks I have to balance that out, because I've just glued everything together, is to add a strip of cardstock. And I'm going to put this extra gold cardstock right along that right edge of my claw machine. I should have grabbed my tweezers, you guys. It is exactly 5.5 inches tall, and man, did I fight with that guy to get him into place. But in the end, I like that extra pop of shine. Here I have my 2 balls on the side, and you can pull the tab and the claw machine picks up one of those balls. It shakes beautifully, and then you can pull them out of the bottom. I am so excited about this card, you guys. Let me know if you will give something like this a try. Thank you all so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.